Chapter 18. Cathy to the rescue. Try as she might, Cathy could not focus her mind on the meaningless drivel she would soon be asked to regurgitate. She heard a knock. "Are you decent, Rumi?" The door swung open. Candy and Gabe walked in. "Greetings, Rumi," Candy said. "You look very intelligent tonight." "And clean," Gabe added. "You remind me of someone." "Who?" "Yourself. You look just like her." "That's a relief," Cathy said. "Is that a good book you're reading?" Candy pointed to her Sociology 204 text. "I give it a 93, Cathy said. "Got a good beat. You can dance to it." "Wherever did you get such a beautiful robe?" Gabe asked. "My mother bought it for me at Macy's." "Your mother has wonderful taste," he said. "Oh, yes, Gabe, definitely." "What is her name?" he asked. "Her name is Judy." "That is a pretty name for a mother," he said. "Her father's name is Artie," Candy said. "What is your father's name, Gabriel?" "No, ma'am, that's my name," Gabe answered. "My father's name is Grigorovich. Does your father have a name?" Candy giggled. "He does, but I just call him Daddy. He doesn't like it when I call him Jimmy." "Why not?" Gabe asked. "Because that's my brother's name. Daddy's name is Stanley. Stanley Shoop." Gabe smiled. "Rhymes with," Candy answered, "poop." "Yeah, scoop the poop shoop." They laughed long and loud, high-fiving and skipping around the room. "Were you trying to study?" Gabe asked Cathy. "How does one do that?" "Well," Gabe became very serious, "one reads, one writes, and tells one's brain to remember, and one tries not to think about one's boyfriend." Cathy nodded. "That's definitely the hard part." "Yes, I know," he said, "'cause I always try not to think about my girlfriend when I study. I mean, if I had one. I try not to think about Candy when I'm trying to study zoology, 'cause she's such an animal. And when I'm trying to learn my biochemistry, and even the word biochemistry confuses me. I try not to think about you, Cat, 'cause you're not my girlfriend, you're Triss's girlfriend, but that doesn't help, 'cause I think about you anyway. Or Candy, or both of you. I'm really confused. Am I terrible?" "I don't know," Cathy said. "I never took biochemistry." Candy laughed till she cried. "Come on, Gabe, let's go for a walk." "Do you want to walk with us, Cathy?" Gabe asked. "I'm going to sleep." "Okay," he said, like a little boy. "Do you want me to read you a bedtime story?" "Not tonight, but thank you." "I won't then. Not if you don't want me to. What is your middle name?" "Anne." "With an E or without?" "With." "Mine's Gary, with one R." "Gabriel Gary with one R Horavich," Candy said. "It's Gaga Who," Gabe said. "And those were my very first words, I'm told." "You're told?" Cathy said. "Put your coat on." "You made a funny, Cathy Ann," he said. He spread the fingers of his left hand, fluttering them through the air, intertwined with the fingers of Candy's right hand. He brought them to a landing. They raised their joined hands and turned around twice on an invisible maypole. Then they tangled around Candy's bed and left, waving and smiling. completely spiritual, Candy assured Cathy at lunch the next day. She vividly described her trip, calling it fun, safe, and something she totally enjoyed. It just made Cathy worry about her more. Disquieted, she walked into town after her fifth period psychology class, hoping she'd see Triss's truck in the church lot, even though she knew he was working in Harrisburg. The front door was open at the well, so she walked in. She sat down and stared at the walls. Unwrapping a Snickers, she imagined the room filled with people as Triss bowed to thunderous applause, feeling she had lost him somehow. She was empty, confused, shattered, and sad. Anger welled up. She wanted to shout obscenities, pick up a table, and smash it against the wall. Gritting her teeth, she pounded the piano with her fist. She heard a cough in the basement. "What's going on up there?" a man's voice said. Uneasy, Cathy got up to leave. "Wait," the voice said. "Who are you?" she asked. "I'm Gabriel Battle. Who are you?" She walked downstairs. "What are you doing here?" "I was just taking a nap till I heard the piano. What time we got?" "It's 4:30. Tuesday, right?" He sat up on the couch. "Right. Is everything okay?" "No. Larry spazzed out on me again." "How's Candy?" "I really don't know, Gabe." "What are you trying to do to her?" "Be her friend." He looked puzzled and hurt. "Why? Did I do something wrong?" She shrugged. "She's not mad at me, is she?" "Oh, no. Quite the opposite." "That's good. What about you? Are you mad at me, Cat?" "Why would I be mad at you?" "You are mad." "Why do you say that?" "Practically everyone I know is mad at me right now. 'Cause lately I can't seem to do anything right. How'd I get so screwed up anyway?" "I'm not mad at you, Gabe. Really, I'm not. Would you like a candy bar? Can I get you a cup of coffee or something?" "You don't have to. I'll go make coffee here." She handed him her last Snickers bar. "Thank you. You're a wonderful person, Cat." "I'm glad someone noticed," she joked as she went upstairs. She set a pot of water on the stove, found a jar of instant coffee, and put a spoonful into a couple of mugs. "How do you like your coffee?" she hollered. "Black." She filled the mugs and went back to the basement. Gabe sipped his coffee, lit an unfiltered cigarette, took a puff, snuffed it out, shook his head, and sighed. She resisted a strong urge to wrap her arms around him. "So you're Gabriel Battle now, not Gabriel Harevich?" "It's my stage name. Back when I was in 7th grade and Larry was in the 8th, I was small, like maybe 5 foot, weighed somewhere in the mid-90s. He was 5'9", a solid 175 at least. He was my unofficial bodyguard, a role he seemed to enjoy, but when I really, really needed him, he punked out. There was a guy, Cat, Willie Tate, an 8th grader. Big, tough, black kid. Very, very scary guy. Anyway, someone tells Willie I'm spreading rumors about his sister, which is a lie. I didn't even know her. But I get a note from one of his flunkies. It says, "I'll be waiting for you after school to shut your lying mouth." Well, I showed it to Larry. I asked him to wait for me after school to walk me home. But Larry says, "Sorry, Gabe, I can't help you with this." "Why not?" I asked, and I was pretty shook, let me tell you. "Because This ain't Larry's battle, he says. It's Gabriel's battle. Cathy nodded. Pretty cute. So, what'd you do about Willie? One good thing I'll say for Larry, Cat. He always has a plan. He told me to write a note to send back to Willie. Even told me what to write. I denied making the comments, expressed outrage at them. I promised to find out who started the rumors, and said I'd help him with his homework, and I even threw in a Valby Thomas rookie card. When I didn't hear back, I called my father and he came and got me. But the next day, Willie's friend said he decided not to kill me. He even gave me a list of other cards Willie wanted. Harevich is Russian, right? Yeah. What are you again? Irish Italian. You know, I've always found Italian women attractive, like Sophia Loren and Gina Lollobrigida. Too bad they get fat when they're older. Too much of spaghetti. She laughed. Now, Irish women don't get fat, he said. They just drink until their livers explode. And what about Russian women? She asked. They make really good shot putters. But all the cute ones get sent to Siberia so the workers don't get distracted. Except for the ballerinas and the figure skaters. They go to America and become capitalist swine. Really? Are there any shot putters in your family? Well, I've got an uncle. His putter's about shot. Cathy chuckled. Candy showed me one of your paintings. You're very good. I'd like to paint you sometime, Cat. You have fabulous cheekbones. Where'd you learn to paint? I took art lessons when I was in the 5th grade. My teacher was Hungarian. I was so in love with her, but she married a veterinarian and moved to San Francisco. I should write a song. Hungarian, veterinarian. What rhymes with Frisco? Cathy said, Crisco. Anyway, after she left, I was really depressed. I couldn't believe she dumped me for a vet. I stopped painting and sculpting and drawing. I just started again recently. It's very therapeutic. What do you do to unwind? Usually, I eat chocolate or just go to sleep. Wow, it's obvious you got your stuff together. Are you hungry? Let me spring for a pizza, okay? Want to go to Luigi's? Oh, crap. I'm broke till Friday. What a bummer. Don't worry about it, she said. I'll buy. I can't let you do that. If you don't help me eat the pizza, I'll be fat as a whale when I reach middle age. Well, when you put it that way, I suppose it is my duty. I'd hate to be remembered as the guy who made you fat. A medium pepperoni was $3 and change. She ate 2 slices. He ate 6. It was after 9, drizzly and cold, when he walked her back to the dorm. He thanked her repeatedly for rescuing him. He didn't try to hold her hand or put his arm around her. Just a gentle touch on the arm from time to time with his index finger as they talked. She wished him luck finding a new place. She might have given him a hug or even a kiss on the cheek. But there were other girls around, and they liked to talk. Heaven was freaking out in the dressing room. I feel like I'm gonna explode. Easy now, Have, Peggy said. It not last. Just drink this and count backward from 100. 100? 99? 98? 97? That wasn't Coke, was it? Angel dust. It's like psychedelic Coke. You never do it before? No. 91, 90, 89. What you put in the OJ? Vodka. How much money you make so far? Heaven opened her pouch. 115. Not bad. One more to go. The Pocahontas dance. How you feel now? Sick to my stomach. She ran to the toilet. Harry walked in. Great show, Peg. Where's my new star? She getting changed. Here's an extra $20 for each of you. You guys are awesome. Was Harry here? Heaven asked as she climbed into her Indian maiden outfit. He say, give you bonus. Peggy handed her a $10 bill. Wow. Thanks, Peggy. Do I look okay? Are you kidding, Heb? Any guy not warm for your form need to go see doctor. You feel better now? Just a little headache. Peggy lit a joint and handed it to Heaven. She stood behind her chair and rubbed her neck. Thanks, Peggy. That feels really good. Chapter 19. An OD and a Bust. As finals approach, college girls sleep less and party more, but not Cathy. Candy practically had to drag her to a classmate's dorm party Thursday night. There were lots of girls, lots of pizza, cookies, cake, and ice cream. Cathy had a big headache and an upset stomach when Lynn pounded on her door the next morning. I heard you went out with Gabe. Oh, I just bumped into him, really. Don't you think that's an odd couple, him and Larry? You couldn't find two guys more different. I mean, Larry's a total pig, but Gabe's really nice. He is nice. Lynn reached in her purse for a cigarette. So you're not seeing Triss anymore? We're still in contact. That's good, I guess. Are you getting together for the holidays? He's going to Mexico with his mother and his cousin. Lynn sat in the big chair and lit a cigarette. After an uncomfortable silence, she said quietly, I lost the baby. Oh, Lynn. Cathy rushed over to put her arms around Lynn, who was trying not to cry. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's probably a blessing in disguise, Cath. I broke up with that lousy worm a long time ago. He just called me at a weak moment. I knew right away the whole thing was a mistake. Did you tell him? I didn't tell anybody, not even Jeannie. But I figured you and Candy knew. You didn't tell anybody, did you? No. It's better if you don't. Okay? Okay. Are you sure you're all right? Well, my life's kind of messed up right now, to be honest with you. But it's nothing I can't handle. Candy had a date with her art history professor. He's a gentleman. You look super, Cathy said. She popped open a can of Dr. Pepper, bit into her Snickers bar, and grimly pored over her psychology notes until the phone rang. Are you busy? Triss asks. Anticipation. I could use a little break. I can pick you up in an hour. Excitement. Where are you? We just left Harrisburg with Pete. He got a weekend pass. He wants to go to the well. Mom's coming too. Resignation. You mean I have to share you? Again? Are you making fun of me? Mirth. Would I do that? I love you, girl. Euphoria. I love you too. I'll be waiting in the lobby. Determined to look as smashing as possible, she showers and shampoos in earnest, zealously assaulting her unruly mane with bursts of hot air. She makes 100 faces while applying hairspray, deodorant, and perfume. She puts on black jeans and a red sweater. Her long hair hangs down, rejuvenated by one of her mom's recommended products. She gargles the minty green stuff and pops a certs in her mouth for insurance. Time to go. She feels a surge of nervous energy as the elevator door slides open, and there he is, handsomer than ever. He draws her into his strong arms, taking her breath away. A few seconds later, reanimated, she sits with him in the back of Karen's Mercedes. My mother thinks you're wonderful, Karen says. Pete turns around. My mom does too. He's gained a few pounds. Your mom reminds me of Diana Ross, Cathy says. We've heard that before, Pete says. A rotating light flashes as they arrive. Paramedics lift a stretcher while 2 policemen hold back a crowd. Karen parks as the ambulance speeds away. Frog is frantic. It's heaven! She fell out of her chair and started having a seizure. It was scary, man. Betty Lou walks over. I knew something was wrong. She just didn't look like herself. Tris introduces his mother to Betty Lou. Frog tells everyone inside the well is closed. Gabe wanders in. What's going on? I saw the ambulance leave. It's heaven, Val says. She fell on the floor and started thrashing. 2 policemen walk inside and ask who's in charge. Frog says he is. Mr. O'Grady, Officer Keene says, how well do you know Miss Flowers? I've known her about 6 weeks. Is she all right, sir? We can't tell you, Sergeant Battaglia says brusquely, but it appears to be a drug overdose. Do you know where she might have obtained drugs? Officer Keene asks. No, sir, Frog says. What did she take? Betty Lou asks. And who are you? The sergeant asks. I'm a friend. Your name, please? Elizabeth Haynes. How long have you known Miss Flowers, Miss Haynes? I just met her last month. Officer Keene asks Tris for his driver's license. Do you use drugs, Mr. Palver? No, sir. Have you used them in the past? No, sir. Are you willing to take a drug test? Now, just a minute, officer, Karen says. We just got here. You can't just... Excuse me, lady, Sergeant Battaglia interrupts. Who might you be? I'm his mother. His mother? You're his mother? Officer Keene says. Let me see your driver's license. Karen hands it to him. Pardon me, ma'am, the cop stammers. Honestly, I thought you were putting me on. So what you're saying is, Mrs. Pover, what you're telling me, you're saying you and your son weren't here when Miss Flowers collapsed? Is that what you're telling me? We arrived as the ambulance was leaving, Karen says. My son and I don't use drugs, as he told you. The officer turns to Tris. But you are acquainted with Miss Flowers, aren't you, Mr. Palver? Yes, sir. And what is the nature of your relationship? We're friends. We visit nursing homes together. She dances. Then you know she dances topless at the Blue Room. No, sir. I wasn't aware of that. Keene fixes his stare on Pete. And who are you? Peter Murphy. I'm Karen's nephew. He does a double take. Her nephew? For real? My husband was black, Karen says. There's a ruckus on the steps. Keen says, don't anyone go anywhere. Sergeant Battaglia shoves Gabe toward Officer Keen. I caught him trying to skip out. Search him, Keen. He smells like weed. Keen shoves his notepad into his back pocket. All right, kid. Arms spread, legs apart. What's your name? Gabriel Harevich. Well, looky here. Keen pulls a small bag of marijuana from Gabe's jacket pocket. Have a seat, boy. Everyone else is led to the basement. Sergeant Battaglia stands on the steps, talking on his radio. I hope she's all right, Betty Lou whispers to Cathy. Did he say something about a search warrant? Pete asks Tris. I hope they don't put Gabe in jail, Val says. Where'd they take Heaven? Betty Lou asks. I don't know, Frog says. Thank God someone here knew what to do. I've never even seen the guy before. God knew, Betty Lou says. Sure, Mom, Val says. She stands and turns her attention to the sergeant who sits on the edge of the steps. Is that gun loaded, sir? It is, young lady. Please have a seat. Are you planning to use it? Will that be necessary? No, sir. But if it makes you feel safe having it. I understand, really, I do. Sergeant Battaglia's radio blares an unintelligible message. He turns it down and holds it to his ear. He hands Frog a clipboard and tells him to write down everyone's name, address, and phone number. Your friend is at Community General, he says. She's in stable condition. But if there hadn't been a paramedic in the audience, she probably would have cashed in her chips before the ambulance ever got here. She had cocaine, alcohol, marijuana, and PCP in her system. If any one of you is messing around with any of that stuff, with any drug at all, stop. Please. Your life's too important to throw it away like that. Seriously, it just ain't worth it. He sighs deeply. You're all free to go. We'll call you if we need you. Thank you for your cooperation, and I apologize for the inconvenience. It's just procedure. Again, you're free to go. Officer Keen takes Gabe away in handcuffs. The others gather in the kitchen and rehash the evening's events. Karen keeps a close watch on Pete as she talks to Betty Lou about Mexico. Tris and Cathy step out on the back porch. He holds her in his arms. The evening sure turned out different than we planned, he says. I love you, Tris. What time are you picking me up tomorrow? About 9? You still going to New York? Monday. I'm meeting Reverend Piper in Brooklyn. Also, I called Abe Moskowitz. He has every book I sell, plus his discounts are better. We're meeting for breakfast Tuesday, and he's arranged a recording session that night at his son's studio. That's great, Cathy says. Tell him and Ida I said hi. I tell myself he needs me as much as I need him, she confessed later at the dorm. You're definitely the woman in his life, Candy reassured her. You should have seen his mom, Candy, Cathy said, when the cop wanted him to take a drug test. Just like a mama grizzly. But Gabe got busted? Cathy nodded. And I'm worried about him. They said something about a search warrant. I'd be real surprised if they don't already know about Larry, Candy said. Anyway, Gabe's not a dealer. No, but I can sure picture Larry trying to dump it on him. So, How was your date with the professor? He was very nice at first, but it was obvious he was expecting me to put out for him, and I let him know right away that wasn't going to happen. After that, he got all huffy, just like a little boy. Said I was misleading him. I just hope it doesn't affect my grade. Chapter 20. Gabe finds shelter. Gabe resigned himself to a night in prison. His bail was $10,000, but he lacked the stomach to call his parents. He dreaded hearing the disappointment in their voices and seeing the disapproval on their faces when they came to pick him up, if they didn't decide it was better to let him rot in jail. One of the other 8 men in the holding cell asked if he was Jewish and went into a long tirade about how he'd probably get a shyster lawyer and beat the charge. Another detainee said, "I knew he was a Jew as soon as he got here, pal. I can smell a Jew a mile away." "Oh, what a marvelous talent," Gabe said. "Don't you sass me, you little smartass." "Chill out, girls," the guard said. "Which of you is Gurevich?" "It's Harevich, sir," Gabe said. "All right, everybody, sit the hell down. Get over here, Hurevich. Your bail's been paid." After signing some papers, he met Triss in the jail lobby. "I can't believe you're here," Gabe said. "This is insane. Do you need a place to stay?" "I can probably stay at Nate's. What time is it?" 10 after 1. "Is a motel room okay?" "Anything beats this place. But I only have a few dollars on me. Don't worry about that." "Triss, this is unbelievable." Getting dressed to go see heaven is a major effort, but Cathy cannot bear the thought of disappointing Triss. Seeing his blue Wonder Bread truck pull into the lot, she runs up to it as the door panel folds open. "Hi, Cat." Gabe vacates his seat and moves to the second row. "Gabe, you're a free man." "Thanks to our friend here," Gabe says. "Want a donut?" "No, thanks." "You sure, Cat? They're chocolate." "I guess I could eat one." "I sure stepped in it last night, didn't I?" Gabe says. Cathy shrugs. "Did they charge you?" "Possession with intent to distribute. They raided the apartment. Larry and Jane got popped too. Of course, Larry said it was all mine. All I had was a little more weed, not even an ounce. Everything else was his. Pot, speed, acid, coke, angel dust. That's where heaven got it." "Are they in jail?" "Far as I know. His bail's 100 G's, hers is only 5. I really need to get my stuff out of there. Find a new place, get a lawyer, and get ready for finals. By the way, you look amazing today, as always." Triss beeps as he pulls into Betty Lou's driveway. "Mama, I got really sick last night." "I know what happened, Heaven. I talked to the officer, remember? So let's not sugarcoat it." "I'm sorry, Mama." "You're sorry? Is that the best you can do?" "I'm really sorry." "Well, so am I, darling. I've been having a hard enough time making ends meet without having to deal with your latest fiasco. And as usual, the timing couldn't be worse. But then, timing's never been one of your strong suits." I'm just trying to stay in school. Well, your strategy ain't working, Heaven, that is for darn sure. I just need to come home and rest. I'll be all right. You see, Mama. We'll see what the doctor has to say about that. I'm just glad you're coming. I've got to get Caleb his breakfast. Tell him I'm sorry. Sure, Heaven. I'm sure that'll make it all better. The psychiatric nurse pointed to her watch as Heaven's face grew sadder and sadder. I'm sorry, Heaven said, laying down the phone. It's all right, honey. I've got your breakfast. My stomach's still icky. Would you like some orange juice? Grapefruit? Pineapple? Pineapple would be nice. The nurse returned with a duffel bag. Here's some clothes and toiletries from your dorm, in case you'd like to get changed. Heaven was in the shower, sobbing, when she heard a knock. You have visitors, Miss Flowers. Give me just a few minutes, please. Thank God. You're all right, Betty Lou said, as Heaven fell into her arms. I can't believe you're here, Heaven said. Heck, Betty Lou, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe anybody's here, Frog said. Maybe we're all somewhere else. Heaven giggled. It does seem like a bad dream, Frog. Frog did a new heart routine. He juggled 3 bars of soap and left, while Betty Lou sat across from Heaven, holding her hand and telling her how God made sure there was a paramedic in the audience because he had plans for her and he wasn't going to let Satan destroy her. Frog returned to the waiting room. Gabe left. How is she? Triss asks. She's really hurting, pal. I didn't know what to say. I just stuck my foot in my mouth as usual. Did you make her laugh? Triss asks. Yeah. But she's really depressed, Frog says. Are you coming out tonight? Hard to say. The family's meeting in York. Mom's picking up Pete's things. He's moving in with us after I get back from New York. So, tell me about charity. Well, it begins at home, of course, Frog says. And it may be tax deductible. I meant Charity Fry, thou clown, Triss says. The poetess? Oh, of course. She lives in Holdenville. She just got published by Random House for the 2nd time. She's very tall, long dark hair, reminds me of Wonder Woman, and she's really into leather. Sounds interesting, Triss says. Gabe returns. Betty Lou didn't want to leave her alone. She's crying, but she knows you're here. She really wants to see you. Well, so long, honey. Betty Lou squeezes Heaven's hand as Triss and Cathy stand outside the door with the nurse. I'll talk to you again real soon. Thank you, Betty Lou, Heaven sighs. I'm just amazed you all came after I screwed up. Honey, it's okay, Betty Lou says, kissing her forehead. Just put it all in the good Lord's hands. As Triss and Cathy walk in, Heaven becomes bubbly and effervescent. Well, hello, you two. I'm so grateful to you for coming. How are you, dear? Triss asks tenderly as they sit on either side of her. Oh, I'm doing better, Triss. I just got carried away and forgot what I was doing, basically. Pretty dumb, huh? Triss takes her hand and looks into her eyes. Heaven looks nervously at Cathy. I really appreciate you coming. I'm glad you're all right. How's the food here? I don't know, Cathy. I haven't felt like eating. I'm just embarrassed about what happened. I really was looking forward to dancing for the old folks tomorrow, but I screwed up. I screwed up real bad. Don't worry about it, champ. Triss says. We'll have other opportunities. Are you going back to Virginia for the holidays? Maybe permanently. I'm flunking 2 classes. I'll be on probation after this semester. My mom's coming up, so we'll see. Do you want to stay in school? Triss asks. I thought I did, but I just don't know anymore. Either way, Heaven, I know you'll make it work. That's what champions do. She kisses his hand. I just forget sometimes, Triss, but your words always encourage me. Cathy wonders if she's still in the room. When's your mom getting here? She asks. I'm expecting her around 3. I haven't seen her since the summer. She flipped out on me when I lost my scholarship. I had to tell her over and over, I'm not homosexual. She doesn't understand about friendship. Since my dad moved out, all she's got is me and Caleb, and he's a handful. I wish he was coming too, but he's wrestling district championships, and he's mad at me because she won't be there cheering him on. And she made sure I knew about it too, like I wasn't feeling guilty enough already. The nurse says visitation is over. Triss gives Heaven a friendly hug. She squeezes him tight and thanks him for everything he's ever done for her. She hugs Cathy and whispers in her ear, Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure you know how much I admire you, and Triss, you're amazing, both of you. Good luck with your mom, Cathy says. Gabe's explaining the law of karma to Betty Lou and Frog when Triss and Cathy return to the waiting room. Triss asks, Does anyone want to stop for breakfast? Why don't you all come over to my place, Frog says. I'll prepare some of my internationally acclaimed buttermilk flapjacks with crushed walnuts and blueberry syrup. I've got to get back to Valerie, Betty Lou says. I've got to study for finals, Cathy says. Triss stops at her dorm. He walks her to the door. Tomorrow morning, just you and me, he says. Okay? Okay. Are you coming to the well tonight? If I can get caught up on my studies. Okay, sweetness. He closes his eyes and puckers. After a dainty mini-kiss, he smiles and looks skyward. He holds her in his arms and kisses her tenderly on the lips again. Back in the room, Candy was applying eye makeup. Did you go see what's-her-name? She asked. Heaven? Yes, she's in the psycho ward, but probably not for long. Oh, and Triss bailed Gabe out, but I think Larry and Jane are still in. Not Janie. Oh? Is she back? According to Lynn, her parents picked her up late last night. She's back next week for her hearing. What's she charged with? Just possession if she cops a plea and rolls on Larry. Otherwise, it's probably dealing too. Lynn says she was really trashed when they picked up her stuff. Larry tried to put the whole thing on Gabe. You know that, right? Just like you figured. But it didn't fly. They've been watching him for a while. He sold Heaven the angel dust, and he's been dealing to high school kids too, and junior high. He'll have a hard time wiggling out of this. Lots of people are ready to roll over on him to save their own fanny. You mean Gabe? And the kid Jane's been delivering the stuff too. Larry was using her to make his deliveries. Candy struck a pose. Do I look okay? You look marvelous, Candy. Frog's picking me up at 12:30. We're going up to see Harvey. Did I show you my ball? No. Check it out. Cathy gingerly removed the cellophane wrap and began to read the autographs. Snyder, Farillo, Hodges, Reese, Robinson, Gilliam, Campanella, Newcomb, Erskine, Padres, and I can't read this one. That's Clem Labine, the reliever. It's from 55 when they beat the Yanks. Where'd you get it? Jimmy. He hates the Dodgers since they left Brooklyn, but I always liked them, even if they stink since Koufax retired. What about you, Cathy? Are you a Pirate fan? Of course. Don't you like them? They're okay, Roomy, but their pitching staff sounds like something you cook up in a pot. Veal, moose, McBean. All the better to feed my Elroy face. Feed your Elroy face, Candy laughed. That's hilarious. Lynn dropped in after Candy left. She stayed all afternoon. After dinner, they walked to the well. They sat with Candy and Frog. Betty Lou and Val came over to say hi. Pastor Stewart extended his usual invitation to church. Gabe arrived as Frog introduced Charity Fry, who strode onto the podium smiling and waving. She was tall, with broad shoulders and jet black hair that hung halfway down her back. She wore a tan leather pantsuit with bracelets, necklaces, and a half dozen rings. The small crowd was very attentive. Through her poems, she shared her story. She was born in France. Her father was killed at Pearl Harbor. Her mother married a Hawaiian man in 1943. They moved to New Mexico, where they trained horses. At age 17, she married Dick Fry, a professional football player, and moved to Detroit. They had a son in 1953 and divorced the following year, but remarried in 1958. He coached college football at Georgia in the early 60s. The team went to the Sugar Bowl twice, but after a losing season, he was fired. They divorced a second time. Later, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison for embezzlement, but a few days before he was to begin his sentence, he died in a motorboat accident. Charity had an embroidered box filled with copies of her 2 books of poetry. She said both were available for whatever amount the purchaser wanted to pay. While people waited in line to purchase her books, Frog announced that food was available in the kitchen and at the grill, and that open mic would begin in 20 minutes. After selling at least 40 books, Charity sat down next to Gabe. He complimented her on her poetry. Betty Lou shook her hand and congratulated her. Charity sipped herbal tea. She lit a thin black cigarette and listened politely as Betty Lou told her about Wellspring. Lynn started talking to Candy about Jane's problems. Gabe went to the basement to tune his guitar. Frog told Cathy that Harvey's emphysema was worse than ever. Val kept yawning as her mother continued to monopolize Charity. Every minute or so, Charity autographed someone's book. Each recipient acted as if Elvis or one of the Beatles had just spoken to them. Tris walks in as Gabe sings an original song. He sits across from Cathy. "Hi," he whispers. Gabe asks Tris if he has his guitar. Tris nods. "Go get it," he implores. Gabe begins the 59th Street Bridge song, "Feelin' Groovy," as Tris joins him on stage. The crowd responds. Then Gabe sings "Help" by the Beatles. Tris's harmonies and adroit guitar work take the song to new heights. Charity walks up to the stage as Tris and Gabe put their instruments away. That was amazing, guys. Val moves toward the stage, prepared to protect Triss's honor. Lynn walks toward the kitchen. Cathy follows. So, what's eating you, Kath? Nothing, she says. They walk to the basement. You and Triss aren't fighting, are you? No? Does it look like we are? I was just wondering. You seem to be avoiding him. I'm just giving him space, Lynn. Oh, he likes his space, does he? So, Janie picked up all her stuff? Anything to change the subject. Yeah, she's gone. It worked. But you saw her? Yeah, she looked awful. Just awful. I don't know what she's gonna do now. Val zooms in and pulls Cathy's head down. She whispers in her ear, Can you believe the way they're sucking up to her? But you got nothing to worry about. Cathy smiles. Thanks, Val, my little gal pal. Don't mention it, Cat, she says. What was that all about? Lynn asks as they go back upstairs. She's my spy. You're kidding me. I'm totally serious, Lynn. Wow, you're some chick. Thanks, I think. Where's Triss? Cathy whispers as Frog begins his introduction. He went out, Candy whispers. Are we staying? Lynn asks. The door opens behind them. Gabe and Triss enter. Charity begins a frantic recitation about her autistic son Tommy. She cries, sighs, and suffers. After a poignant silence, foreheads twitch and eyebrows flutter. Slowly the room fills with stunned applause. Charity, like an athlete who just finished dragging a 500-pound anvil through the desert for 40 miles, lifts a weary hand to acknowledge the applause. The ovation escalates as she stands and takes a bow. She pitches her 2 books. There's another frenzied rush to the stage. Frog thanks everyone for coming. Triss gives Cathy and Lynn a ride back to the dorm. He tells Cathy he'll meet her at Pop's at 9 o'clock. Candy got in around 1 o'clock. She told Cathy that Triss and Frog helped Gabe move into Charity Fry's house. It's a mansion, really. 4 really large bedrooms, and she's got horses, goats, a gigantous aquarium, and all kinds of tropical fish. She told him he can stay until he finds a place. Sounds like you don't approve. Very perceptive, roomie. How's Harvey? He hates it there, Kath. You could hardly blame him. It's about the darkest, gloomiest place ever. And it stinks. The attendants are a bunch of crabs, except one who's actually kind of cute. You gave him the ball? Yeah, that seemed to cheer him up a bit. He asked about you, of course. Wanted to know if you and Triss were getting married? What'd you tell him? You decided to become a nun. You didn't. No. So, guess who got another speeding ticket on the way back? Talk about a leadfoot. He was doing 77 in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. You should have seen the officer. The guy was huge. He thought we might be high on something. We had to get out and wait a half hour while he and his partner searched. Did they find anything? Yeah, comedy tapes. Did Frog put on a show? Of course. He juggled and did his Sergeant Friday, just the facts, sir. And he practically begged them to just give him a warning, but the big one said, "You may think this is a joke, sir, but 77 miles an hour is a serious violation." How was Frog after that? Pretty wound up. I had to calm him down. Was it romantic? Oh, in a very warped sort of way it was. We ate at a really nice place, but the waiter spilled hot soup on him. Well, the manager wouldn't let him pay for the meal, but then they brought the wrong dessert. I didn't have the heart to tell the waiter. Then the couple sitting across from us, she throws her coffee right in his face and stomps out. He just sat there and cried. I was waiting for Alan Funt to come out and tell us we were on candid camera.